In this second video on the digestive system, we're going to be focusing on the 4 stages of food processing. The first stage is ingestion or eating. The second stage is digestion, which can be broken down into 2 different components: mechanical digestion and chemical digestion. And the purpose of that is to take that food that we've eaten and break it down into small molecules for the third stage, or absorption. Those small molecules can then be absorbed from our digestive tract into our bloodstream and then transported to the rest of our body. But there are some molecules in the foods that we eat that are not digested small enough to be absorbed into the body, and these need to be eliminated, which is the fourth stage. Let's take a closer look at the 2 types of digestion. In mechanical digestion, we're mechanically breaking the food into smaller bits. This is done most obviously by our teeth that can tear the foods apart and chew them to make them into smaller chunks of food. And maybe less obvious is what Pooh Bear called the rumbly in his tumbly. That feeling that Pooh gets when he's hungry, you may have felt yourself as the muscles lining your stomach start to contract. And this can happen when you're hungry and your stomach's empty. But one of the major roles it has is as those muscles around your stomach start to contract, they mix together all of the foods and continue to squish it up and mix it with the enzymes. And this is also a part of mechanical digestion. But an important part to note is that the chemical bonds of the molecules are not broken by mechanical digestion. Let's talk a little bit more, or let's share a little bit more about what that rumbly and the tumbly, what that's caused by. It's caused by a process called peristalsis.
The autonomic nervous system controls contractions of the alimentary canal that move swallowed food down the esophagus, churn the stomach, and move chyme through the small intestine and large intestine. The alimentary canal is a single, continuous tube that includes the oral cavity, esophagus, stomach, and intestines. The tissue layers that form the walls of the tube include 2 layers of smooth muscle. The contraction and relaxation of these muscles is called peristalsis. One peristaltic wave can be enough to move a bolus down the esophagus and into the stomach. In the intestines, the waves are smaller and more regular. As one section of the intestine contracts, the section in front relaxes. This occurs in the rhythmic, wave-like patterns that create the peristalsis that propels substances forward. The autonomic nervous system controls.
So that peristalsis contributes to that rumbly in your tumbly and helps to break foods down mechanically as well. But before we can absorb any of those food molecules, we're going to need to undergo chemical digestion as well. In previous units, we discussed how macromolecules are built through a process called dehydration synthesis, and the reverse process of breaking them apart by hydrolysis. Well, the enzymes of our digestive system are going to hydrolyze the macromolecules into smaller molecules, like the monomers that make them up. So carbohydrates will be broken down into monosaccharides, proteins will be broken down into amino acids. And in order to do this, we need to break chemical bonds, and these chemical bonds are broken by enzymes. And these enzymes in the digestive system are produced by the accessory glands, salivary glands, and the pancreas, but also by the lining of the stomach as well.